Hello everyone, welcome to the series of spectroscopy. This is the second lecture about infrared spectroscopy. In previous lecture, in first lecture, we have seen introduction, principle of IR spectroscopy and types of fundamental vibration. In today's lecture, we will discuss types of non-fundamental vibrations, then factors affecting IR spectrum, and then basic overview about the instrumentation of IR spectroscopy and basic difference between instrumentation of ultraviolet and infrared spectroscopy. So, let's start with the types of non-fundamental vibrations. Basically, bands we can see in IR spectrum can be divided into main two major types, which are normal vibration band and abnormal vibrational band. Normal vibration band is also known as fundamental vibrational band, and abnormal vibrational band is also known as non-fundamental vibrational band. We can also say that vibrations can be seen in IR spectroscopy also can be divided into two types, normal vibration and abnormal vibration, or fundamental vibration and non-fundamental vibration. In previous lecture, we have seen types of fundamental vibration. These bands, normal vibrational bands, are because of the normal vibration, or fundamental vibration bands are obviously because of fundamental vibration. And in previous lecture, we have seen the types of fundamental vibration, which are stretching and bending. While here, in non-fundamental vibrational band, these are the bands which are not due to any explained vibration, which means they are not due to the fundamental vibration. And basically, four types of non-fundamental vibrations are there, which are overtone, combination tone, coupling band, and Fermi resonance band. These are the types of fundamental vibration which are stretching and bending. Further, stretching is subdivided into two types, symmetrical stretching and asymmetrical stretching. Here, bending is also subdivided into two types, in-plane bending and out-of-plane bending. Further, in-plane bending is divided into scissoring and rocking, and out-of-plane bending is divided into wagging and twisting. These are the types of fundamental vibration that we have already discussed in first lecture of IR spectroscopy, means in previous lecture. Now, types of non-fundamental vibration. Non-fundamental vibration is divided into four types, overtone, combination tone, coupling band, and Fermi resonance band. We will discuss each individually one by one. Before studying the types of non-fundamental vibration, here are some examples of bond vibrations are given. These are the positions of various bonds, or can say various vibrations in infrared spectrum. See, the first bond is CH and the mode is stretching. So CH stretching. Here the relative strength is given. It is symbolized as SMW. S is indicated for strong, M for medium, and W for weak. MS means strong to medium, MW means medium to weak, and the wave number means its position is given. We have also discussed that IR spectrum is transmitters means percentage T versus wave number, which is indicated in centimeter inverse. IR spectrum is a closed packed spectrum. It is not an open spectra as in UV or visible. It is a closed packed spectra. Transmittance versus wave number. Transmittance is indicated in percentage T and wave number is indicated in centimeter inverse. From left to right, this spectra is proceed. Here see, from 500 to 4000 centimeter inverse. So, these are the positions of wave number which is indicated in centimeter inverse. CH stretching gives a strong band of which position is 2700 to 3300 centimeter inverse. So these are the bonds. Their mode of vibration is stretching, bending, rocking, and their relative strength and their position wave number in centimeter inverse is given here. So from this position in IR spectra, we can say that this type of bond is present in our given sample molecule. So these are the modes of vibration which affects the position. First type of non-fundamental vibration is overtone. Non-fundamental vibrations are nothing but the vibrations which cannot be explained by the fundamental vibration are known as non-fundamental vibration. They are also known as abnormal vibration because they cannot be normally seen. They differ from the normal vibrations. The first type is overtone. Overtone means over. Overtones are the vibrational bands having twice the frequency of normal vibrational band with low intensity. Overtones has twice the frequency than the normal vibration band, but the intensity is low with low intensity. Frequency is twice the normal vibrational band with low intensity. Its intensity is lower than the normal vibrational band. For example, carbonyl group has normal vibrational absorption band at position 1715 cm inverse. This is the normal band, and overtone of this carbonyl group appears at 3430, which is approximately twice than the 1715 cm inverse. Here the positions are given at centimeter inverse. Wave number is given in centimeter inverse. So overtone is nothing but having twice the frequency of normal band with low intensity is overtone. Here example is taken of carbonyl in cyclohexane liquid film, in cyclohexane molecule. C double bond O means carbonyl. Here see in blue color 1716 centimeter inverse. This is the normal band of carbonyl C double bond O. And C in the orange color 3407, which is approximately double to the 1716. So orange is the overtone, and C also intensity student. The orange colored band's intensity is very lower than the blue colored band's intensity. Means intensity of normal band is higher while the intensity of overtone band is very smaller, very lower than the intensity of normal band. Second type of non-fundamental vibration is combination tone. Combination tone are weak absorption bands which occasionally appear at frequencies that are either total or difference of two or more fundamental bands. It can be explained by an example. OH stretching occurs at 1250 and CO stretching occurs at 1000 cm inverse. Combination tone occurs at 2250, which is double of 1250 and 1000. So at 2250 cm inverse. Combination means either total or difference. Combination tone of these two bands OH and CO can also be seen at 250 cm inverse, but 250 cm inverse is out of the range of higher spectrum. So such band cannot be seen in higher spectrum. So combination tone of OH and CO group can be seen at 2250, which is double of the 1250 and 1000. Other than 1250 and 1000 bands, one extra band because of the combination tone between OH and CO group can be seen at 2250 cm inverse. Third one is the coupling band. As the name suggests, coupling means two same groups. When two bands of same symmetry are closely located within the same molecule, interaction between those two similar functional groups takes place, which is known as coupling. And this coupling results in a new strong absorption band, which itself is a characteristic absorption band. Here acetic anhydride is taken. In acetic anhydride, two C double bond O means two carbonyl groups are present, which are same. And so within these two same groups, coupling occurs, means interaction occurs, and because of that interaction, a new strong absorption band can be seen, and which is also a characteristic absorption band about these two same functional groups present within the same molecule. Coupling band results when two same functional groups are present within the same molecule. Normal frequency of carbonyl is 1750 cm inverse, but at coupled absorption band appears at 1820 cm inverse. If a molecule, so we can say that if a molecule shows strong absorption band at 1820 cm inverse, then the given molecule may be of acetic anhydride only. Fourth type of non-fundamental vibration is Fermi resonance band. It is very important term. It is nothing but the coupling between fundamental and non-fundamental absorption bands. Means interaction between fundamental and non-fundamental absorption band. It causes either intensification or splitting of absorption band. Intensification means enhancement in intensity, or splitting of absorption band. It can either enhance the intensity of absorption band or can split absorption band. For example, normal frequency of CH group is 810. Then overtone of this CH group can be seen at 1620 centimeter inverse. Overtone means twice the frequency. So 810 and its double means 1620 centimeter inverse. So normal band of CH is seen at 1810 and the overtone band of this CH group is seen at 1620 centimeter inverse. Now normal frequency of C double bond C stretching is 81600. So see here students, 1600 and 1620 are very closer positions. So Fermi resonance between these two bonds means overtone band of CH and normal band of C double bond C. I am repeating. Fermi resonance takes place between overtone of CH and normal band of C double bond C, which means Fermi resonance takes place between 1620 and 1600, and so the resulting absorption band splits, which means 1600 and 1620, these two bands interacts with each other, and finally the final absorption band splits because these two positions are very closer to each other. So this is known as Fermi resonance, means coupling between fundamental and non-fundamental, because overtone is fundamental type of band and non-fundamental type of band, and normal band of C double bond C is a fundamental type of band. So here interaction between fundamental and non-fundamental bands takes place, which results in Fermi resonance. So we can say that first type of non-fundamental vibration is overtone, which means twice the frequency and lower intensity. Then combination tone, either total or difference. Then coupling band, when two same function groups are present within the same molecule. And Fermi resonance, interaction between fundamental and non-fundamental absorption band. So we can say that number of absorption bands in any molecule are equal to all possible normal vibration minus vibrations not involving dipole change plus all possible abnormal vibrations. So following this equation, any molecule have number of absorption bands in their specific IR spectrum. So this was all about non-fundamental vibration. So vibrations are divided into fundamental vibration and non-fundamental vibration. Fundamental vibrations are further divided into stretching and bending, and non-fundamental vibration overtone, then combination tone, then coupling, and then Fermi resonance. So this was all about types of vibrations can be seen in IR spectroscopy, or can say types of absorption bands seen in IR spectrum. Now the second topic of today's lecture is factors affecting IR spectrum. 10 factors are there which affects IR spectrum. These are the same factors. We can say that these are the factors affecting vibration in IR spectroscopy, or factors affecting IR spectrum position, or factors affecting IR spectrum frequency. So these are the same factors affecting IR spectrum, or can say affecting vibration, or IR spectrum position, or IR spectrum frequency. So factors are same. So 10 factors are there. First factor is type of fundamental vibration. Second is non-fundamental vibration. In short, fundamental and non-fundamental vibration obviously affect our IR spectrum or vibration. Then third is bond strength, then electronic effect, then hydrogen bonding, then bond angle, then effect of substituent, intensity of incident radiation, then thickness of our sample solution, or can say sample solid or sample gas, because in IR all form of samples can be studied, and the concentration of the sample. So the first is type of fundamental vibration. Bending frequencies are always lower as compared to stretching frequencies because stretching requires more energy than the bending. So, stretching frequencies are higher than the bending frequencies. Here, very simple example of hydroxyl group stretching and hydroxyl group bending is taken. Hydroxyl group stretching bend can be seen at 3700 to 2500 centimeter inverse, and OH bending takes place at the frequency 1500 to 1300 centimeter inverse. So, stretching requires more energy, so stretching shows more frequency as compared to bending. Next factor is non-fundamental vibration. We have seen this in detail earlier in this lecture only. So, these four types of non-fundamental vibration affects the IR spectrum, or can say vibration. They affects frequency and intensity of the band in IR spectrum. Third is bond strength. Obviously, absorption frequency is directly proportional to bond strength. Stronger bond requires more energy and hence stronger bond shows more wave number in IR spectrum. Any factor that strengthens the bond produces increase in absorption frequency, and any factor that dilutes the bond produces a decrease in absorption frequency. For example, carbon-carbon double bond means C double bond C. In ordinary, ethene is more stronger than in benzene. In benzene, there are also 3 double bonds. So, because in benzene, due to delocalization of electron, these double bonds are weakened and they show lower frequency in IR spectrum. Next factor is electronic effects. Main 3 electronic effects are there. First is inductive effect, second is mesomeric effect, and third is field effect. These are the effects which affects vibration and ultimately IR spectrum. Under the influence of these effects, the force constant or bond strength. These effects either affect force constant or bond strength, and we have seen that this bond strength absorption frequency is directly proportional to bond strength. So these effects either affect force constant or bond strength, and they changes force constant or bond strength and its absorption frequency shifts from normal value. So first effect is inductive effect. Introduction of alkyl groups causes positive inductive effect, and so obviously introduction of alkyl group lengthening or weakening the bond, because here one functional group is added. So bond is lengthened and also bond is weakened due to alkyl group, and here bond is weakened, so absorption takes place at lower wave number. As bond is stronger, more wave number. As bond is weaker, the wave number is lower. See the example. In formaldehyde there is no alkyl group, and its frequency in formaldehyde, frequency of C double bond or carbonyl group absorption band is 1750 centimeter inverse. In acetaldehyde, one alkyl group is introduced, and so in acetaldehyde frequency of carbonyl group is 1745, and in acetone again one methyl group is added, means CH3COCH3. Total 2 methyl groups are there in acetone, and so in this acetone frequency of C double bond O carbonyl group is 1715. So here as we introduce methyl group, means alkyl group, frequency of carbonyl absorption band is decreased, which is known as positive inductive effect, which means introduction of alkyl group causes positive inductive effect, means it decreases wave number. And introduction of electronegative atoms causes negative inductive effect, means increases wave number. In acetone there is no electronegative atom. In chloroacetone one electronegative atom chlorine is there, and in dichloroacetone 2 electronegative atom 2 chloride are there, and so see here frequency of carbonyl group is increased 1715 to 1725 to 1740. So introduction of electronegative atom means chlorine increases wave number. O means increases frequency of carbonyl absorption band. Second effect is mesomeric effect. In many cases, mesomeric effect works along with the inductive effect and cannot be neglected. Conjugation lowers the wave number of absorption. In some cases, inductive effect dominates over mesomeric effect, whereas reverse holds for other cases. In some cases, inductive effect dominates mesomeric effect, and in some cases, mesomeric effect dominates inductive effect. In mesomeric effect, conjugation lowers the wave number. As the number of double bond increases, wave number decreases. Here see in the example methyl-methyl ketone and acetophenone. In methyl-vinyl ketone, 2 double bonds are there, while in acetophenone 4 double bonds are there. So in methyl-vinyl ketone, the frequency of carbonyl group is at 1706, while in here acetophenone 1693. So frequency of carbonyl group is decreased, which means conjugation lowers wave number. We have seen that alkyl groups lowers wave number, electronegative atom increases wave number, conjugation decreases wave number. Third effect is field effect. In some cases where lone pair of electrons are present on the atom are in conjugation with double bond of a group. For example, carbonyl group. Electronegative means lone pair of oxygen are in conjugation with carbon, or can say the mobility of lone pair of electron matters here in field effect. Here example of benzamide and phenyl acetate is taken. The frequency of carbonyl group in benzamide in 1663 and in phenyl acetate it is 1730. Means in amide frequency is lower than in ester. As nitrogen atom is less electronegative than oxygen atom, electron pair on nitrogen atom in amide is more labile and more participates in conjugation than in ester. And due to this greater degree of conjugation, carbonyl absorption of frequency is much less in amide as compared to that ester. And it is important to note that only inductive effect is considered when the compound is meta-substituted. When compound is meta-substituted, only inductive effect is considered. Here in amide, lone pair of nitrogen is more electronegative comparable to oxygen. In benzamide, nitrogen is present, while in phenyl acetate, nitrogen is not present. So nitrogen is more electronegative, so it is more labile, so it is more involved in conjugation. And so frequency of benzamide is lower than the frequency of phenyl acetate of carbonyl group. So these are the three electronic effects. First is inductive effect, second is mesomeric effect, and third is field effect. You can say that introduction of alkyl group decreases wave number, introduction of electronegative atom increases wave number, then conjugation lowers wave number, and electronegative atom lowers wave number. More electronegativity, wave number is less. Fifth factor is hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding gives rise to downward frequency, which means stronger the hydrogen bond, greater the absorption shift towards lower wave number. Means hydrogen bonding lowers wave number from the normal value. It decreases frequency from the normal value. It is possible to distinguish two types of hydrogen bonds by the infrared technique, intermolecular hydrogen bond and intramolecular hydrogen bond. They can be distinguished by our spectroscopy. Intermolecular hydrogen bonds gives broad bands, while intramolecular hydrogen bonds gives sharp and well-defined bands in IR spectrum. Further, intermolecular hydrogen bonds are concentration dependent, while intramolecular hydrogen bonds are independent of concentration. This is you have already studied, student, that intermolecular hydrogen bonds means hydrogen bonds present between two molecules is known as intermolecular, and intramolecular means within the molecule are known as intramolecular. And frequency difference between free and associated molecules is smaller in case of intramolecular hydrogen bonding than that in intermolecular association. Frequency difference in intermolecular hydrogen bond is smaller than in intermolecular association, in intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Ultimately, hydrogen bond lowers the wave number. Hydrogen bonding in hydroxyl and alkyl compound deserve special attention because mostly non-associating solvents like carbon disulfide, carbon tetrachloride and chloroform are used in IR spectroscopy because some solvents like benzene, acetone influence hydroxyl and NH compounds to a considerable extent. Because we have seen that nitrogen atom is less electronegative than oxygen atom, so hydrogen bonding in amine is weaker than in alcohol and thus frequency shift in amine is less drastic. For example, amine show NH stretching at 3500 in dilute solution, while in concentrated solution absorption takes place at 3300. Means in concentrated it is 3300 while in dilute it is 3500. And alcohols exhibiting intermolecular hydrogen bonding absorbs between 32 to 3400 while in hydroxyl in free alcohol absorb near 3600. Next factor is bond angle. Deviation from normal bond angle produces strain in molecule, and this strain makes the molecule unstable, means this strain makes the molecule highly reactive, and absorption frequency in IR spectroscopy is directly proportional to ring strain. As the strain higher, absorption is higher. For example, cyclopentane and cyclohexane have less strain and have absorption frequency 1715 and 1705 respectively, while comparable to cyclohexane and cyclopentane, in pentanone and butanone strain increases and so frequency also increases. Here see 1715 and 1705 while in here 1745 and 1775 is there. And bicyclic compounds have also more strain compared to monocyclic compounds and so frequency in bicyclic compounds is higher than monocyclic compounds. Next factor is effect of substituent. More substituent bond absorbs higher frequency. Here example of ethene and tetramethyl ethene is taken. Ethene is not substituted, so its frequency is 160. This is the frequency of C double bond C. And in tetramethyl ethene it is substituted by 4 methyl groups and its frequency is 1670 centimeter inverse, which is 10 centimeter inverse is more than the ethene. So more substituted bond absorbs higher frequency. Next factors are intensity of incident radiation, thickness and concentration. As intensity of incident radiation increases, the absorption increases. As thickness of sample increases, absorption increases, and as concentration of sample molecule increases, absorption increases. These are the factors similar to the factors which affects in UV spectroscopy. We have already studied that. So this was all about factors affecting IR spectrum or factors affecting vibration. Next point is instrumentation of IR spectroscopy. Basic components of instrumentation of IR spectroscopy is similar to UV or visible spectroscopy, which are first is radiation source, then monochromator, then sample holder and then detector. These are the 4 basic components of instrumentation of IR spectroscopy, which is similar to the UV or visible spectroscopy. But the basic difference between IR and UV visible spectroscopy is that in IR spectroscopy, sample is placed before monochromator. We have seen that in visible as well as in UV spectroscopy that first component is radiation source. From radiation source, radiation passes through the monochromator where polychromatic light is converted into monochromatic light using the monochromator, and then the monochromatic light passes through the sample. But here in IR spectroscopy, sample is placed before monochromator, which means from radiation source, radiation passes through the sample and then it passes through the monochromator, because UV visible radiations are more energetic than the IR, and so UV visible radiation can damage the sample, and so in UV visible sample is placed after monochromator, while in here in IR spectroscopy sample is placed before monochromator. Then In IR spectroscopy, lenses are totally removed instead of mirrors are used because lenses, most of the mirrors are made up of polished metals and anybody can be made to reflect light by having polish on it. And then all the components in IR spectroscopy must be of higher transparent material. Obviously, the components which we use, the material which we use to make components must be of higher transparent. They should not absorb IR radiation. Because if they absorb IR radiation, we can also get result of about material. And glass, quartz, etc. are absorbing IR radiation because in UV and visible, the material used is either glass or quartz, but they absorb IR radiation, so they cannot be used in IR spectroscopy. Sodium chloride and potassium bromide are totally transparent to IR radiation, so they are used as the main material in IR spectroscopy. And in IR, aqueous solution cannot be used because they absorb and humidity must be kept below 40 degree. So these are the basic difference between IR spectroscopy and UV and visible spectroscopy. And the detailed instrumentation means radiation source, sample, handling, then monochromator and then detector we will study in next lecture. Thank you.